out of the blue corner, Quach.
Quach, he comes in as a fierce competitor. Unlike Mark Oshiro, who we'll be seeing in just a second, who kind of steps in there and you get the feeling that Mark Oshiro's just sort of whatever with it. He just goes with the flow, whatever way the fight goes, whatever way his career goes. Quach is a guy who is right now lighting the fire inside himself.
He's definitely focused. He actually hasn't lost since June 10th, 2006, so he's a huge win streak. You know, the guy's a very, very talented fighter. Always an excellent wrestler and ground and pounder, but he's been with Colin Oyama for a while here, so Colin was a premier stand-up coaches as well, so he likes to stand as well as ground and pound people.
Fighting out of the red corner, Mark Oshiro.
A fan favorite for good reason. Mark Oshiro always brings it. Talented fighter. He has had to work through certain physical ailments in recent fights, whether it be his back, there's some worry about his knee, there's some talk about his shoulder here and there. This is a guy who has had to still fight his way to a higher class of MMA respect despite some of those physical ailments.
Definitely, you push him on a bigger stage and he performs. When he fights hurt, he performs. This guy is just a workhorse of a fighter and always actually pushes the envelope. When you think he's just a stand-up fighter, he submits somebody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Blaisdell Arena, Honolulu, Hawaii, those watching around the world, this bout scheduled for the Icon Sport North American 140-pound title. Fighting out of the blue corner, he's representing Team Oyama. Professional fighting record of 14 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw. On an 8-fight win streak from Huntington Beach, California, please welcome Quach. And ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the red corner, professional fighting record of 11 wins against only 1 loss. He's vacating his Hawaii Icon Sports state title. He's representing the Bulls Pin in Pearl City, Hawaii. Welcome, Mark the Shark Oshiro. This bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds on referee Chris West's command.
And again, Mark Oshiro, another byproduct as far as this fight is concerned of the realignment in weight class divisions in the Icon ring. So tonight fighting at 140 pounds for the North American Icon title. But he basically vacates his state belt for this opportunity.
Yeah, and definitely he's a tall fighter, so it's just probably a less drastic weight cut for him. But normally he actually walks around like a 138 or something like this. I'm not sure. They said he added some muscle and been lifting out more and gaining weight, so he actually had to cut to come in a little stronger. But we'll see if it has any kind of ill effects by basically fighting up a little bit of weight class.
And here we go. This has the makings of a good one, folks. And Quach taking that kick and taking down Oshiro. And quickly Oshiro is put into the gauntlet.
Quach is an excellent ground and pounder, great positional control here. Likes to grind his opponents out. But Mark is definitely deceptively strong, as you can see right here, flipping that.
And slippery, as you could see. Trying to hang on to that head position.
Keep that underhook. Quach is stretching him out right there. It's almost like it's actually in a knee lock position here. Pushing his hips forward and got that leg locked out there.
Oshiro actually looking towards his corner for some instruction here as to what he should try to do.
And looking for that underhook there to sweep him over. Quach steps right over, right to the mount position. Needs to basically escape from this mount position before it gets too locked in. Nice knee escape by Mark Oshiro right here. Now he's a lot better position to create a scramble. Quach being very, very patient in this position here.
Some of the crowd clamoring to have these two fighters be stood up at the middle of the ring. But Quach trying to work the climb up the guard.
And Mark's hands is a little tied up in that rope. Recovers full guard.
Yes.
And he did submit his last guy with a triangle here, so just looked like he was actually setting it up right there. But very sneaky with those legs, and you know, he knows the submissions. And the best thing about a guy who knows submissions is that he's not afraid to try him out. Ooh, he's trying for the rubber guard here.
Oshiro spidery. I mean, those legs can go all over the place.
The advantage of that rubber guard position is it ties up one of the arms, so he's unable to lock up. But Ball did a good job of stepping over that other leg.
And this is a true fight, chess match for position here.
Nice step over passing by Ball Quach, but excellent guard work by Mark Oshiro here.
And for the first time, Bao Quach perhaps going to apply just intermediate damage. And now he stands up. Opportunity perhaps for a moment there for Oshiro, but he stays in the guard.
You've seen the other fights where guys are staying nice and tight. Bao kind of postured up to kind of get punching power and leverage a punch. Not a lot of opportunity for Mark to kind of recover his guard there.
Mark actually connecting from his back here. Those long arms.
Trying to stack pass right here. Stack his legs up and try to turn the corner, but Mark's doing a good job of controlling those hips.
You got a guy who has won 8 straight fights in Bao Quach versus a guy who has won 7 straight in Mark Oshiro.
Nice hard knees to the hip area and the ribs.
Yeah, those are felt. That one actually drawing a reaction from the fans here at the Blaisdell.
Mark's doing a good job as well, keeping that forearm up, putting pressure. A ball's real heavy. He's got that leg control in a cradle position that kind of limits the mobility. And this, for a guy who possibly may have back problems, this can't be a good position.
No, this is high torque right here.
He's being curled up and he's getting kneed in the back.
Under a minute to go here in round 1. This one's scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Oshiro almost getting something there.
You try to lock on, use that leg to kind of kick it over the top, to push that head back, to create space and create a scramble to maybe recover the guard. He traps that arm.
And this is dangerous. And this is dangerous with 30 seconds left in the round.
Mark's doing a good job of kind of slithering around, looking for space and opportunity. Gives it the mounted position.
Full mount here for Bao Quach. Oshiro trying to hang on for dear life. Under 20 seconds to go.
Armbar opportunity.
Armbar opportunity here for Quach. Oshiro has it turned.
Yeah, he's turning his wrist. He needs to basically keep.
And there's the horn.
Oh. That's basically good time management. Mark Oshiro trying to gut out that armbar because he had good position. At first he lost, he wasn't controlling the wrist because the arm breaks opposite of the thumb. And he corrected it, started bending it back, and Mark kind of gutted it out at the end.
Oshiro just looking for something, looking for anything from that position to give himself a few extra moments to get to the end of that round.
You see it here, Bao Quach goes to the mount, knows the time is over, sits back for the armbar, locks that guy in, has his arm, but Mark does a good job of turning that wrist and causes the elbow to bend a different way, so he has to adjust. Bao trying to go after the wrist and recover that wrist control. Again, you see him slide up nice, kick that leg over. Mark almost got it initially. See how Mark turned that wrist, that thumb pointing toward his opponent. And Bao's trying to recover that right there and turning that wrist over, turning that wrist over. Now it's hipping up. but just corrects it right at the buzzer.
Quach is a ground and pound freight train. And Marco Oshiro witnessed it firsthand in that first round. Now, after all of that effort, Mike, the concern now is how is the fatigue level of Marco Oshiro, because he had to exert quite a bit of energy in that first round, holding off Quach.
Definitely, and I think Chris West was warning him about that submission. At the end of that round, he finally got it corrected, but the bell rang and he kept on kind of tweaking that arm. But definitely took a lot out of the punishment, took a lot out of Marco Oshiro. We'll see. Well, Mark's such an exciting fighter standing up.
Quach going for the takedown, but Mark able to stand up. There is the takedown. And Quach again going to work.
So solid on the top, great balance, excellent wrestling technique. Explosive takedowns. Gonna try to simulate that same position. That crucifix on top.
But how much can Marco Oshiro continue to endure now becomes the question.
He goes after that arm again.
Oshiro able to slip out of it. Now has some separation like you talked about, Mike.
He's trying to recover his guard here, but Ball did a good job. He's putting so much pressure. He's able to lock. He's locking those hips out, putting that pressure.
And a good defensive maneuver, as it turns out, there for Marco Oshiro.
We'll see how they restart here, because it's kind of a scramble position.
Oh, they will put him on his back.
Kind of scrambled out there, so.
See what kind of position they reward Quach with. And they give him side control off the bat.
Yeah, it was kind of a lot better position than he had at the scramble there. Mark kind of created a nice scramble there at the end. Nice knees from the bottom
shot.
there.
Knee shot to the dome. He goes for the armbar again. Can Oshiro withstand it?
Trying to twist the arm. Wrist back and forth and kind of gutting up here.
Trying to twirl it out, and he does. And now he's punching. Now he's on the attack. Now he's laying into Quach.
And this is how Marco Oshiro finished the fight with Cariaso, landing some huge shots here.
Marco Oshiro with the crowd to its feet here at the Blaisdell.
Quach is hurt. Mark desperately needs to stop this takedown.
Marco Oshiro with a Houdini-like escape from that armbar. And now he is on the offensive. And Quach
is bleeding.
Severely bleeding from above the left eye.
Oh, big hand by Quach. It puts the fight to the ground.
That was a big throw by Quach, and now he's back with the top position.
Almost a desperation punch there, but it actually worked out well because they didn't have to spend energy for a takedown. Kind of landed on top.
And talk about a turnaround by Quach. We mentioned how Oshiro escaped from that armbar. Quach was up against it after taking such a fierce onslaught of punches from Oshiro, but now he again working to that top position advantage.
This is exactly where he wants to be for a guy who's possibly hurt, needs to recover, to keep himself nice and tight. Nice pass there, very, very slick pass.
And this is dangerous for Oshiro. Looking up at the time, under 1:30 remaining here in round 2. The crowd asking for the ref to stand him up. Might be asking for a lot here at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's those knee shots to the back again, Mike.
Oshiro needs to create a scramble here. Give him an opportunity to kind of get out of there. Quach is so tight on top.
And Oshiro actually still able to connect on some knees to try to even the playing field here in this position.
So those long legs come into play here.
This has turned into quite a fight. Perhaps as expected.
Exactly. Real gutty performance by Oshiro by eating a lot of arm bars. Some of his technique by switching his hips, his thumb around so he couldn't lock it in, but also he was basically eating that arm lock for a while to kind of gut himself out. Here comes another armbar attempt right here.
19 seconds left here in the round. Can Oshiro hold off Quach again? Another armbar attempt.
He has that arm locked into his elbow. He needs to kind of keep that straight there. Quach is trying to pull it over. You see a lot of energy to pull that arm out.
And there's the horn. Oshiro survives again.
It's being known as the Houdini of arm locks. Mark Oshiro comes back. You can see him visually tired from those arm lock attempts, the ground and pound. But he definitely made Quach pay in this round with some devastating striking.
How much more does Mark Oshiro have left in him, though? He is the local favorite. He is the fan favorite here at the Blaisdell, fighting in the 50th state under the lights of Icon. How much does he have left in him, though? Quach, who took a considerable punishment in that round, still has not had to endure what Mark Oshiro has had to endure so far in this fight.
Exactly. You see the sit-back armbar, numerous armbar attempts, and he's just cranking that arm, trying to control the wrist. Right there, Mark just kind of gutted to roll that arm over. And sometimes what happens is you just pop your arm, it rolls right out. And, you know, right now he's not going to feel it because he's got all this adrenaline, he's warmed up. Tomorrow morning or later tonight when he starts cooling off, that's when he's going to feel the damage of those arms. And he definitely, as he scrambled up here, made him pay. And
but then
came
Quach,
yeah. Nice 1-2 combination to kind of send Mark to the canvas. Exactly what he did not need after he had a shift in momentum of the fight.
Yeah, that swung the pendulum of momentum right back to Quach's corner. Oshiro, there you see, resting with his hands on his knees. He is no doubt drained. He's got to be, after putting up the kind of fight he has through those first 2 rounds. But Quach, his face beaten up a bit.
Definitely. Very, very technical on the ground. Nice arm bars. It's that technique a lot of other guys would have tapped a long time ago with those arm bars. Mark just shows his grittiness, toughness, and good defense on the ground.
A few extra moments being taken to wipe up the corner of Mark Oshiro. That might actually help Mark Oshiro. Any extra rest is much needed.
For actually both fighters.
Oh, and here's the takedown by Quach. He went right to it.
Great strategy, taking the fight right to the ground, where he's been the most successful here.
And again, Oshiro has to endure the Quach method.
He's got that underhook with the right leg. Might try to see if he can elevate and switch the fight here. But Quach has great hips.
There's a shot by Quach, another one for good measure. The epitome of ground and pound, Mike.
Yeah, and it's not just a typical ground and pound where he's just sitting there in the guard. His excellent pass, he's kind of slithering over those hips and covering that leg. He's definitely progressing his position, exactly what referees like to see, and allows the guys to kind of spend a little more time on the ground because they're either causing damage or you're progressing your position. That's exactly what Quach is doing.
Is Quach winning this fight, Mike?
Well, I guess we'll have to see how highly the damage that the judges scale, or that little flurry that Mark Oshiro had, but otherwise, numerous submission attempts by Quach and an effort to KO or make submissions of the highest category of judging criteria, and there's definitely a lot more opportunities that had to finish the fight with them straight armbar, so I'd have to give him the edge definitely coming into this fight as he slithers through and passes all the way to the north-south position.
He goes back to the side mount as Oshiro continues to, like you say, slither around on the bottom.
Ball's definitely not your typical wrestler only. Definitely has a lot of good submission game, nice passing, as well as inflicting some damage on the top here.
And they're gonna stand him up. That's exactly what the crowd wanted to see.
And you can see Ball's tired as he gets up, but so is Mark Oshiro.
Yeah, both these fighters about as gassed as you can imagine right now. It's now or never, perhaps, for Mark Oshiro in this fight. Kick upstairs a couple times, a third time, left side, avoids the takedown.
It's exactly what Mark needs to do. He needs to be wary of those blast shot takedowns because Bao is so powerful with his takedowns and lands some nice.
Yeah, Bao Quach with the combo there. So they exchange up against those ropes. Oshiro comes in with the left-right. Can he sprawl out of this? He does. Big knee to the head. Oshiro on top of Bao Quach.
Bao's going for a leg lock, a heel hook right here. Oshiro needs to spin out of it and put the foot on the butt to pull his leg out.
Just when it looked like Bao Quach was perhaps done, render him finished. He continues this fight and is still working on a submission attempt.
He's going for foot, from ankle crank to foot lock.
But Oshiro gets out of it. Bao Quach is exhausted, so is Mark Oshiro. Bao Quach works back to the top position, under 2 minutes to go in the final round.
Almost had a triangle opportunity, but Bao Quach, being the ground technician that he is, got himself a safe position and fought through.
The 140-pound North American Icon title on the line, and still perhaps up for grabs.
Mark doing a body lock from the guard, kind of squeezes the air out of opponent. And in this type of situation where both guys are tired, this may be a good strategy from the use.
Bao Quach trying to climb. Trying to step over that guard.
Good job by Bao Quach. He's so low with his hips. He steps over only enough to kind of clear that leg. Advance stuff to half guard. Puts that leg back to try to free that one remaining leg, and he's excellent pass by Bao Quach. And going back to those punishing knees.
We have seen him in this position a handful of times in this fight, Mike. 40 seconds remaining in round 3.
You have to see that the window of opportunity for Mark Oshiro to win this fight is slowly closing.
That flurry earlier in this round definitely evened the scales a little bit, but how even they are is impossible to know at this point.
I'd have to say that the submission attempt that Bao had, those numerous arm bars, was a lot closer to finishing fight than his damage. Yeah, he definitely got hurt, but even if he got hurt at one time versus the multiple armbar attempts by Bao Quach.
Final seconds. And the crowd will cheer for this one, as they should. Bao Quach and Mark Oshiro. Great fight.
Excellent fight, another great fight.
Quach raises his arms in the air. He senses victory here. But we're gonna have to go to the judges' cards. Oshiro finally to his feet.
Mark is banged up.
What an effort by Mark Oshiro.
This definitely was a war.
These fighters tonight. Guaranteed a deserving champion of our North American title. We will go to the judges.
Some drama here on this one.
One more time, Honolulu, Hawaii. Big warm round of applause, both these fighters.
Some drama here with the decision.
Your Icon Sport North American champion, unanimous decision from Huntington Beach, California, Bao Quach. Presenting the belt, Kahari Gallagher, Alora, and Hyana.
So Bao Quach wins the belt, 140-pound North American Icon title. Well deserved.
Excellent fight, excellent matchup, and exactly what you thought from Bao Quach of being a ground control technician, but also tagged Mark standing up quite a few times.
In fact, that's really what won him the fight, because every single time it seemed as though Oshiro was turning the tables, Quach was able to somehow finagle a combination that then rattled Oshiro and let him get back in control.